Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Books of Bliss. Today, I want to see, does she have anything, Books of Bliss upstairs, does she have anything unique up here? I feel like she has to, right? If there's going to be any character in this game, who has some weird-ass, kinky shit up in their bedroom, it's gotta be this fucking lady. I mean, here we go, yep, she's got the beautiful-ass bed, must admit. Beautiful bed, she's got the fucking tongs and calipers and shares. Don't want to know what the fuck she's doing with those shares, but she's also got the fucking chains up against the wall. Like, how much more obvious can the game make it, bruh? As well as a lot of fine wines, and by fine wines I mean literally just cheap wine. What's this? Oh, she's got another snuggle bench. Wait, are all benches just referred to as the snuggle bench? Is that how all benches are referred to? Because if that's the case, that's a little upsetting. I was hoping it would just be her snuggle benches. God, the entire time that you're doing it, you can also look across the room and see the statue of Shagrath just watching you. Nice. All right, we're gonna sit on the snuggle bench right next to where probably a decent amount of people have slept and gotten it on. God, what a fucking setting, huh? And we're going to read a book that has absolutely nothing to do with anything kinky. Probably. I mean, I haven't actually checked to see what book we're going to read today. But I would be very surprised if it is Actually. No, I lie. We are going to read a kinky-ass book today. A book that we have had for so long. But we have never actually read it yet. The kinkiest book of all, the most well-known book in all of Oblivion, the Lusty Argonian Maid. Literally 3 pages long. That is it. I'm pretty sure Skyrim made a follow-up to the Lusty Argonian Maid, which is pretty funny. But yeah, the most iconic book of all, the Lusty Argonian Maid. My character as an Argonian's absolute fucking dream. The Lusty Argonian Maid, Act 4, Scene 3, continued. Lifts her tail. Certainly not, kind sir. I am here but to clean your chambers. Crantius Culto. I'm going to replace Crantius with Kivana, because that's my name, and I'm just going to do that, alright? I feel like it fits a little better. Kivana, is that all you have come here for, little one? My chambers. Lifts her tail. I have no idea what it is you imply, master. I am but a poor Argonian maid. Kivana, so you are, my dumpling. And a good one at that. Such strong legs and shapely tail. Lifts her tail. You embarrass me, sir. Kivana, fear not. You are safe here with me. Lifts her tail. I must finish my cleaning, sir. The mistress will have my head if I do not. Kivana, cleaning, eh? I have something for you. Here. Polish my spear. Lifts her tail. But it is huge. It could take me all night. Kivana, plenty of time, my sweet. Plenty of time. Just about as direct as it gets. So just short and sweet. Yeah. Just unnecessarily horny for a 2 in like a quarter page long act of a play. The Lusty Argonian Maid. Oddly enough, that super short tale has become the most icon. Why am I getting up? I'm not. That's not the only book I'm reading today. Oddly enough, that super short tale has become the most infamous fucking book in all of this game. But yeah, that's the Lusty Argonian Maid for everybody. There you go. With that, let's also read Death Blow of Abernanit. Let's see, Death Blow of Abernanit. 14 pages, alright. The Death Blow of Abernanit, with explains by the sage Geocrates Varnus. Broken battlements and wrecked walls, where worship of the horror once embraced, the bites of 50 winters, frost and wind, have cracked and pitted the unholy gates, and brought down the cruel, obscene spire. All is dust, all is nothing more than dust. The blood has dried, and screams have echoed. frailed by hills in the wildest, forlorn place of Morrowind, sits the barren bones of Abernanit. Abernanit? I don't know. When thrice blessed Rangadil first saw Abernanit, it burnished silver bright with power and permanence. A dreadful place with dreadful men to guard it, with fever-glassed eyes and strength through the horror. Rangadil saw the foe's number was far greater than the few ordinators and buoyant armigers he led, watching from the hills above the field and castle of death. While it stood, it damned the souls of the people of Morrowind, a cursed inquisitus castle at Abernanit. God, this is, I think this is supposed to rhyme, but God, I am butchering it too. As much as one can butcher a rhyme, I am butchering it. The alarum was sounded, calling the holy warriors to battle, to answer villainy shields with justice's spare, to steel themselves to fight at the front and be brave. Rangadil, too, grasped his shield and his thin ebon spear. Okay, but you just rhyme spear with spear, so come on. And the clamor of battle began with a resounding crash to shake the clouds down from the sky. The shield wall was smashed and blood staunched. The battle of the field, a battle like no other, of Morrowind to destroy the evil of Abernanit. The maniacal horde were skilled at arms, for certes, but the three holy fists of Mother, Lord, and Wizard pushed the monster's army back in charge after charge. Rangadil saw from above, urging the army to defend, Dagathros himself, his pernicious tower spire, and knew that only when the heart of evil was caught would the land ever be truly saved. He pledged then by the temple and the holy tribunal of Morrowind to take the tower of Abernanit. Oh, I think that Tower of Abernanit is probably one of the 5 or 6 towers that, I forget their actual, meaning, but there's 5 or 6 towers that, I don't know, they're related to the conspiracy theory that everybody has about the fucking, the bugs and the jars in Skyrim. That's a reference that if you haven't played Skyrim or noticed, it's not important because there's actually no fucking thing there. They were apparently just related to a quest that got removed. But anyway, yeah. In a violent push, the tower base was pierced, but all efforts to fell the spire came to naught, as if all the strength of the horror held that one tower. The stairwell up was so steep and so tight that 2 warriors could not ascend it side by side. So single file the army clambered up and up to take the tower room and end the reign of one of the cruelest petty tyrants in the annals of Morrowind, Dagathros and Abernanit. They awaited a victory cry from the first to scale the tower, but silence only returned, and then blood. First only a rivulet and then a scarlet course poured down the steep stairwell with the cry from above. Dagathros is besting our army one by one. Rangadil called his army back, every ordinator and buoyant armiger, and he himself ascended the stairs, passing the bloody remains of the best warriors of Morrowind to the tower room of Abernanit. Like a raven of death on its eyrie was Dagathros, holding bloody shield and bloody blade at the tower room door. Every thrust of Rangadil's spear was blocked with ease. Every slash of Rangadil's blade was deflected away. Every blow of Rangadil's mace was met by the shield. Every quick arrow shot could find no purchase. For the monster's greatest power was in his dread blessing that no weapon from no warrior found in all of Morrowind could pass the shields of Abernanit. As hour passed hour, Rangadil came to understand how his greatest warriors met their end with Dagathros, for he could exhaust them by blocking their attacks, and then, thus weakened, they were simply cut down. The villain was patient and skilled with the shield, and Rangadil felt even his own mighty arms growing numb. While Dagoth Thras anticipated and blocked each cut, and Rangedil feared that without the blessing of the divine Three of Morrowind, he'd die in the Tower of Abernanit. I'm absolutely butchering all the pronunciations of all these names and shit, but goddamn, I don't really care. But he still poured down blows as he yelled, "Foe, I am Rangedil, the prince of the true temple, and I fought in many a battle, and many a warrior has tried to stop my blade and has failed. Very few can anticipate which blow I'm planning, and fewer know how to arrest the design, or have the strength to absorb all of my strikes. There is no greater master of shield blocking in all of Morrowind than here in the castle Abernanit. My foe, Dark Lord Dagoth Thras, before you slay me, I beg you, tell me how you know how to block." Wickedly proud, Dagoth Thras heard Rangedil's plea, decided that before he gutted the temple champion, he would deign to give him some knowledge for the afterlife. How his instinct and reflexes worked, and as he started to explain, he realized that he did not know how he did it, and watched, puzzled, as Rangedil delivered what the Tales of Morrowind called the death blow of Abernanit. What the fuck? How stupid is that, huh? What a dumbass book. Geocrates Varnus explains. 1. The horror refers to the Daedra Prince Mehrunes Dagon. 2. 50 Winters suggests that the epic was written 50 years after the siege of Abernanit, which took place in 3rd Era 150. Thrice blessed Rangedil is Rangedil Catil, born 2nd Era 803, died 3rd Era 195. He was the commander of the Temple Ordinators, and thrice blessed by being blessed by the Tribunal of Gods. 4. Mother, Lord, and Wizard refers to the Tribunal of Almalexia, Vivek, and Sathasil. 5. Dagoth Thras was a powerful Daedra worshipper of unknown origin, who declared himself the heir of the 6th house, though there is little evidence he descended from the vanished family. The fuck is the 6th house, huh? I don't even know what the fuck it's referring to. Alright, next up on the thing is Hallgerd's Tale. Yeah, alright. I think Hallgerd's Tale and potentially one more, depending on how we're feeling. Might be the move for the day. Hallgerd's Tale by Tavi Dromio. I think the greatest warrior who ever lived had to be Vilis Nomenus, offered Zomara. Name one other warrior who conquered more territory. Tiber Septim, obviously, said Hallgerd. He wasn't a warrior, he was an administrator. A politician, said Garaz. And besides, acreage conquered can't be final means of determining the best warrior. How about skill with a blade? There are other weapons than blades, objected Zomara. Why not skill with an axe or a bow? Who was the greatest master of all weaponry? I can't think of one greatest master of all weaponry. Kivana! I'm right here, people, come on! Said Hallgerd. Balaxes of Aegea, Nero, and Blackmarsh was the greatest wielder of a lance. Ooh, a lance would be fucking cool to play with, huh? Ernst Lurvu of the Ashlands is the greatest master of the club I've ever seen. The greatest master of the katana is probably an Akaviri warlord we've never heard of. As far as archery goes, Pelinol Whitestrake supposedly conquered all of Tamriel by himself, interrupted Zomara. That was before the 1st Era, said Garrus. It's probably mostly myth, but there are all sorts of great warriors of the modern eras. The Cameron Usurper, the unknown hero who brought together the Staff of Chaos and defeated Yegartharn. Hey, that'll be us eventually if we ever get around to playing the very first Elder Scrolls. Not sure if that's going to happen. We'll see. We can't declare an unknown champion as the greatest warrior. What about Neandor Berade, the Empress Kataria's champion? Suggested Zomara. They said he could use any weapon ever invented. But what happened to him? Smiled Garaz. He was drowned in the Sea of Ghosts because he couldn't get his armor off. Call me overly particular, but I think the greatest warrior in the world should know how to take armor off. It's kind of hard to judge ability to wear armor as a skill, said Zomara. Either you have basic functionality in a suit of armor, or you don't. "That's not true," said Hallgerd. "There are masters in that as well. People who can do, like me, yet again, master of all. People who can do things while wearing armor better than we can out of armor. Have you ever heard of Hlaalu Pasarath, the king's great-grandfather?" Zomara and Garaz admitted that they had not. This was hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and Pasarath was the ruler of a great estate, which he had won by right of being the greatest warrior in the land. It's been said, and truly, that much of the house's current power is based on Pasarath's earnings as a warrior. Every week he held games at his castle, pitting his skill against the champions of the neighboring estates, and every week he won something. His great skill wasn't in the use of weaponry, though he was decent enough with an axe and a long sword, but in his ability to move quickly, and with great agility, wearing a full suit of heavy mail. There were some who said that he moved faster while wearing armor than he did out of it. Some months before the story begins, he had won the daughter of one of his beautiful neighbors, a beautiful creature named Menna, who he had made his wife. He loved her very much, but he was intensely jealous, and with good reason. She wasn't very pleased with his husbandly skills. And the only reason Menna never strayed was because Pasarath kept a close eye on her. She was, to put it kindly, naturally amorous, and resentful of her position as a prize. Wherever he went, he always brought her with him. At the games, she was placed in a special box so that he could see her even while he competed. But with God, I mean, how fucking insanely jealous / either he's just so insanely jealous, well, he is, regardless, or she is just, looking for any ever slight opportunity to get away and go fuck somebody and come right back. I don't know about that. But his real competition, though he didn't know it, was from a handsome young armorer he also had won at one of his competitions. Menna had noticed him, and the armorer, whose name was Taran, had certainly noticed her. "This is all the makings of a dirty joke, Hallgerd," said Zomara with a smile. "I swear that it's entirely true," said Hallgerd. "The problem facing the lovers was, of course, that they could never be alone. Perhaps because of this, it became a burning obsession to both of them. Taran decided that the best time for them to consummate their love was during the games. Menna feigned illness, so she didn't have to stay in the box, but Pasarath visited the sick room every few minutes, between fights, so Taran and Menna could never get together. The sound of Pasarath's armor clunking up the stairs to visit his sick wife gave Taran the idea. He crafted his lord a new suit of armor, strong and bright and beautifully decorated. For his purposes, Taran rubbed the leg joints with Luca dust, so the more he sweated and the more he moved them, the more they'd stick together. After a little while, Taran figured Pasarath wouldn't be able to walk very quickly. It wouldn't have enough time in between fights to visit his wife. But just in case, Taran also added bells to the legs, which rung loudly when they moved, so the couple would be able to hear him coming in plenty of time. When the games commenced the following week, Menna feigned illness again, and Taran presented his lord with the new armor. Pasarath was delighted with it, as Taran hoped he would be, and donned it for the first fight. Taran then stole upstairs to Menna's bedchamber. All was silent outside as the two began to make love. Suddenly, Menna noticed a peculiar expression on Taran's face, and before she had a chance to ask him about it, his head fell off at the neck. Oh god. Pasarath was standing behind him, with his axe in hand. How did he get upstairs so quickly, with his leg joints gummed up? And didn't they hear the bells ringing? Asked Garaz. Well, you see, when Pasarath realized he couldn't walk on his legs very quickly, he walked on his hands. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, sure. I don't believe it, laughed Zomara. What happened next? Asked Garaz. Did Pasarath kill Menna also? No one knows exactly what happened next, said Hallgerd. Pasarath didn't return for the next game, nor the next. Finally, at the fourth game, he returned to fight, and Menna appeared in the box to watch. She didn't appear to be sick anymore. In fact, she was smiling, and had a light flush to her face. They did it, cried Zomara. I don't have all the salacious details, except that after the battle, it took 10 squires 13 hours to get Passeroth's armor off because of all the Luca dust mixed with sweat. Oh god. I don't understand. You mean he didn't take his armor off when they... But how? Like I said, replied Hallgerd, this is a story about someone who was more agile and accomplished in his armor than out of it. Now that's skill, said Garaz. He was so talented in his armor, as opposed to outside of his armor, that he fucked his wife in a full suit of heavy armor? With the armor how, bro? What did you insert? What? I mean, she seemed satisfied, but like, what did you put in? Bruh, what? What a fucking odd-ass tale. I feel like that has to end it. A weird, kinky-ass tale yeah. What the fuck? Why does this connect to Tove the Unrestful's house? Don't tell me Tove the Unrestful is fucking getting it on with this fucking lady. Or maybe he's unrestful because all he can fucking hear is his next door neighbor fucking banging people left and right. God. Strange. But that's gonna do it for today. So thank you for listening in on a couple more stories. When next we return, we're gonna do another quest. I don't really know what quest we're gonna do. Probably the Coming Storm, huh? Because I think we can explore all these places now. Yeah, we can explore all these places. Get all those pieces. So yeah, that'll be our next quest, our next video, and then after that, we're gonna have another reading video, and then we'll be on to the next month. And I think in that next month, I'm gonna spend every video day, not every day, reading more books because I don't want to be. So I want to get these books done before I actually get too involved with the main storyline. Will I be able to finish all those books within those videos? No, but I will be at least a lot closer. Yeah, I definitely don't want to end this entire fucking Oblivion series by just reading books the entire fucking time. So at least I'll put it somewhere near the end, not quite at the end. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I hope you have a very good day. And, yeah. I don't know. If you got a snuggle bench around you. God, is every bench named a snuggle bench? I gotta find that out. But anyway. Till the next time, goodbye.
Cause I don't wanna see the glow without you. Refuse to even leave my home without you. Or my brain's gonna explode without you. I don't even know how to cope without you. Cause I don't wanna see the glow without you. Refuse to even leave my home without you. Or my brain's gonna explode without you. I don't even know how to cope without you.